Okay, everybody. Hi.
Good morning.
Welcome. Can you scoot over a little bit more? Welcome to our broadcast. We have been getting ourselves situated.
Yes, it's almost been, this coming week will be 2 months that we've been in our house here in Seattle.
2 months. So we have done a lot around the house. The job hunt has started in full force for me, which has been an interesting process. And Lex here has been busying herself with some projects around the house.
Well, yes, I have, and with the intention of doing my own job hunt at some point. But I like to get things done and sort of settled in and sort of nesting here in the house first. So last weekend, Chris was away being fabulous and jet setting in San Francisco. She was DJing at a party at a club in the city. And I stayed home and took the popcorn off of the bedroom ceiling. We had de-popcorned the entire house in 2004 when we bought it, except our bedroom. And so finally I did that. It was a heavy, messy project, but it's done. And then this weekend,
I don't know that it's all the way done.
Well, this weekend I've been putting primering the walls and the ceiling for eventual painting.
Yes. So when we talked about this project, Miss Lex was just going to do the popcorn. And then I think she decided that she was going to, just go ahead and do the primering. So our bedroom is a little bit chaotic at the moment. So we've moved into a room across from our bedroom.
The guest room.
Yes.
But it's only got a small, not even a queen, it's called a full-sized futon. Full for what? I don't know.
Well, it's just the two of us in this bed.
But it's a very small futon.
So Lex had very generously moved us in, made up the futon and everything.
Because of the fumes in our bedroom. The primer fumes.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's how many nights is this going to happen? Because, really and truly, I kind of like, sleeping in my bed. So last night / this morning was the first adventure in that futon. And I have to tell you that, normally I am the one who's awake because I'm a pretty light sleeper. So there will be things that happen during the night that Lex might not necessarily be aware of. And I think
you sound like it's some sort of paranormal experience or something that's happening at the night.
Well, last night, or this morning, shall I say, at some point during the morning, and again, I don't know the exact dimensions of this futon, but I do remember there was a time that we would sleep peaceably on this futon.
That was many years ago.
But at one point, I got a whack in the face. So I was kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? And I look over and Lex is like just completely asleep, but it was her. I mean, it was not a paranormal experience. And I think that she muttered something like, oh, sorry, and then just kept going.
I have no recollection of this event.
So I was like, okay, I had to do some defensive sleeping for the rest of the voyage on that bed. So I decided that I was just going to turn over to the other side so that if there was a random arm that jutted out or sprung up, it made contact with my back. So I did survive the morning. and with no bruises. So I'm happy to report that. But I have inquired to my lovely Lex, when will we be moving back into our bedroom?
I suspect that we'll do one more night on the futon tonight. I'm going to finish the primering. And you see, it's taking so long too, because I have to, move the bed into the center of the room and then let that wall dry so I can move the bed back, so then I can pull the dresser into the center of the room to get behind the dresser. So that's why it's taking 2 days to finish the project. And I just don't like the idea of sleeping with full fumes. I mean, the windows are open and everything, but yes, I suspect one more night tonight, and then we can move back into our own bed tomorrow, which would be Sunday night. Thank you for your patience, love.
So,
We'll be doing this all again very soon when we actually paint with the colors.
With that direction, I don't know. Somebody, me, could be in our bed inhaling those fumes tonight. We don't know. But so that is one of the projects that we had going. The other project that we tried, I really kind of felt like we were, how did I phrase this? I wanted to do a lot more sustainable things. And I think we're pretty sustainable currently, but I thought that we could do more. So one of the things that we decided to do was have our little own composting bin for the lasagna garden that we created outside. And sadly, the first attempt at that composting was not successful. So now, well, I don't know. We probably didn't put enough stuff in there, and we probably just didn't leave it for enough time. I don't know.
It's a new system that we've never used before called bokashi, and it's not really composting, it's fermentation. And so it's an indoor bin, and it's airtight, and you put your things in along with this fermenting medium called bokashi that's like molasses and bran pellets. And then, yes, so we're trying that again, paying more attention to the details of the instructions this time. So the idea is that it ferments, and then you dig that into your earth like you would compost.
So we'll see what happens. I just said, okay, Lex, you can take it away, because I am not one that really follows instructions. I kind of,
Really?
If there's a lot of pictures, then you probably have a better chance of reaching me than just like a page full of like a lot of words.
Like words, because, like letters, a page full of letters.
I like a lot of pictures, and then I can really kind of hone in on, figure diagram A, diagram B,
I would like to just also mention that very quickly, another one of our urban pioneer attempts that was very successful was Chris made her own sauerkraut. And that actually, it was touch and go there for a while, in my opinion. It took a few weeks, but now it has turned sour and crispy, and it's delicious. Like truly a good sauerkraut.
When Lex says touch and go, okay, so like you have to daily do this thing which they call burping the jar, and Lex would not let me open up that jar in the house.
It was so bad. Imagine, if you will, sort of cabbage just being in an airtight container, and then that airtight container being opened every day. Yeah, it was bad for a few weeks there, but the end result is delicious.
And then I put some garlic cloves in there, so it's like a garlicky taste, and then a couple of peppercorns. So, yeah, that actually turned out pretty well. And we both love sauerkraut, so I think you're either in the category you love it or you're kind of like, ew. So that was really simple to make. It was just 2 cabbages, and, you just kind of macerate it every day. So the water comes up from the cabbage, which basically all cabbage is like a ton of water, and then it just ferments. So it's been nice to kind of do these little experiments and learn a little bit. And that's a really inexpensive way to get sauerkraut. So now we have 2 jars of that. So our adventure continues, but we wanted to check in, and I think we are going to try to do these a little bit more frequently. I always say that. But, the attempt is there, and we're always thinking about what our listeners might want to hear or have fun listening to. So we thank you all for tuning in again to the program. We have actually toyed with the idea of guests coming back onto the show, like our friends, really. Those are the guests. So we did try that with a couple of our friends, but
it was really good though with Greg.
It was, but a couple of the other friends, I think we'll just have to pick who really wants to be on the program. So, because we have to have a consent,
and the people would have to come to Seattle.
That's right. We don't do Skype we do, but it's more fun when we're all in the room together. So, if anybody's listening and wants to be part of our podcast, raise your hand, and we would be happy just to do a recording. And we don't really plan anything. It's just kind of like we sit around the table and we talk about
extemporaneous.
Yeah, we talk about stuff. So, on that note, I think we will say goodbye for this week.
Love you all.
And tune in for our next episode of As We Fall Asleep. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great week. We love you.